Hey Middle Street, hope y'all are doing well. It is not sunny or warm out today, but I just had to get outside. Maybe you know the feeling. So going for a little walk. Thank you to Cafe Von Solm, who was closed but opened, let me in and made me an Americano. So they blessed this weary pastor. And if you happen to be in town, I would urge you to bless them by buying a cup of coffee from them as well. It's the one right across from the old post office on Daniel Street. So I was reading today in Luke 12, and Jesus, I'm going to paraphrase because I can't read and hold my coffee and walk and hold my phone and my Bible all at once. Jesus is talking about worry and anxiety, and he says, don't worry about tomorrow, about what you'll eat or what you'll drink or what you'll wear, because it's just not helpful. And he gives these case studies after he says, do not be anxious. He says, first, think about a raven. Ravens are kind of nasty, worthless birds. Jesus says they don't sow, they don't reap, they don't farm, they don't worry about what they're going to eat, and yet God feeds them. He says, he asks this rhetorical question, aren't you worth more to God than a raven? The answer, of course, is yes, you are. He asks another question. He says, which of you, by worrying or being anxious, can add a single hour to his life? The obvious answer is, well, nobody. In fact, doctors tell us that when we worry or are anxious, that it takes hours off our life. It doesn't add hours to our life. He gives another example and says, look at the lilies of the field and how beautiful they are, and they don't work at it, they just are. God takes care of them. So in the same way, Jesus says, don't be anxious about what you need. He says, don't be anxious about what you need, because God knows what you need. Instead, and he gives us the alternative. So he keeps saying, don't worry, don't be anxious, don't worry, don't be anxious. And you're wondering, well, how? And he gives the answer. He says, instead, seek first God's kingdom, and then all these things will be added to you. Now, Jesus isn't saying your physical needs or even your health don't matter to God. Of course not. He says God gives food to the ravens. He dresses, so to speak, the lilies of the field. He cares about those things. He cares about our health and our safety. But he says seek first God's kingdom, and then God will add all those things to your life. He'll take care of you. The next couple Sundays, we're going to explore what does that mean? What does that look like? And we're going to look at it from a couple of different lenses. So I hope you will join us Sunday morning at 10 o'clock on Facebook Live. You can go to our church Facebook website and you will see a link right there to the live video. As the next couple weeks we explore what does it look like practically, not only to not worry or not be anxious, but how to replace our worry and anxiety with seeking God, seeking his kingdom, and being the men and women that Jesus is calling us to be. So, hope y'all are doing well. Hope you enjoyed this little walking tour of Court Street. Love y'all. See you soon.